All right. Hello, hello. It is I. Me. How is it going? I'm here. We are going to be doing an art stream. Art. Art. Look at that. Beautiful art right there. That's happening. Totally. To do it? There we are. Hello. Welcome. What's up, hero? How's it going? So we are going to be continuing to work on this, this BRB screen. Could be the next Da Vinci. I could be. Sad thing about that is, I wouldn't be the next Da Vinci until I was dead. Or was Da Vinci one of the artists who were kind of recognized when he was alive? I'm not too well read up on Da Vinci lore. Yeah. Today's stream's probably not going to be that long. I'm not feeling too well today. Kind of feel like complete and utter dog shit. But, you know, show must go on. And usually the art streams cheer me up anyways, so might as well, you know? Let's see. So currently we are going to be working on the Hoog. So is the music audible, by the way? I think it might be a little low. So just bump that up a bit. My mood doesn't get better. Yeah, it's audible? All right. Yeah, that's usually my art streams tend to be kind of shorter, but you know, today I may have to call it early. I don't know. It depends. Yeah. So the Hoog is going to be a very interesting very interesting difference, because with this I could just kind of like grab what was previously on the paper on the page and move it around, and I figured out how to make myself sitting up. This just not the right angle at all. The Hoog should not be looking or anywhere near looking this direction in the BRB screen. Blech. So I will be changing that up. Let's see. I guess for now, let's just that looks like a, oh, you can't see that on a stream. While I'm hovering over the shading icon, and it looks weird. All right, so get rid of the shading layer. Don't need it. The color, I can always just copy off the reference image. And honestly, maybe I just completely restart here. Like, the Hoog doesn't even need to be there. So let's go Hoog. All right, let's start off Hoog line art. The deep topic to yap about. I mean, I don't have that many deep topics in my mind right now. And I was gonna say, if the topic gets too deep, I might cry. But yeah, no. If you have any suggestions, then feel free to add them, to mention them, to say them. Social battery needs some usage. Yeah. Somewhat tamer topic. Yeah, no, I was more joking. Mostly. But, yeah, no. I've been kinda just not... recently has been a lot tougher on me, between going back into classes and, you know, life. So, yeah, no. If I don't know if anybody here in the chat would have noticed, but I haven't actually played games off stream for a while. Usually I love playing games off stream. I'm constantly hanging out with friends, but I've just been kind of weighed down by life. Currently struggling hard in school right now. Yeah. I don't have the largest... Oh, what? Am I on the wrong layer? I am. Fucking... Yeah, why was I on the clown guy bobblehead layer for that? Oopie. There it is. From a straight A student to having some D's on your mark because of being sick due to mental health. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't... Oh, yeah, beanbags. I've learned, and I don't know where you are in schooling, so I don't know. I don't know if this applies, but for me in college, I noticed that a lot of my 80s and 90s very quickly turned into like 60s. And at this point in my life, I'm fine with a 60. Getting a 60 on a test or something is passing enough for me to be okay with it, you know? Let me get rid of the beanbag shading, honestly. Kind of annoying. But, yeah, no. Don't... Grades are stupid, you know? You're worried about your parents' reaction. Yeah, that is fair. I don't like how grades are done. But you're still worried. Yeah. I mean... I have parents with very high expectations of me. One of the reasons why I went into engineering and stuff is because my dad is very keen on us getting as far in the into higher education as physically possible. Which has been quite stressful, because anytime you get something that is not, you know, a 90, they start worrying that you may fail the family or some shit like that. Have parents who don't understand bad mental health. Yeah, that sucks. It's, yeah, schooling is tough, you know? It's just kind of rough at times. Sometimes you just have to deal with it. Sometimes you have to do like 2 extra semesters or whatever because, you know, you didn't make it. That's how it works. That's how it goes. Not the end of the world, at the very least. Mental health screwing you over. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's fair. There's a lot of things that contribute, at least in my mind. I can't exactly, like, I can't say that I know anything, really, about your situation. Like, I lack 100% of it. But, yeah, no, at a certain point in school, in schooling for me, mental health really becomes a massive barrier. Like, especially as somebody with ADHD, and if I remember, you also have ADHD. When you're like halfway through schooling, I don't know. There's something that happens halfway through winter that just screws me over royally, and it ruins all of my self-motivation. And I know for sure I've hit that point. But life doesn't slow down, so gotta keep going. I hope you're doing better, or you get to be doing better soon. Because it always sucks when you have responsibilities like school or who knows what else, a job, say, and you just don't feel the motivation to do it. But you're still a little bleh. Yeah. Well, I mean, it matters, you know? Your mental health matters, even when you're just feeling a little bleh. I don't... Still relevant. I may have to remove the background elements here real quick. Here we are. All right. You know, it's interesting. I'm gonna shift the topic a bit to something that I've been thinking about recently. Because, like, something that I've kind of recently realized, is a lot of people online who are doing YouTuber jobs, per se, or any online job, really. It feels as though when watching them, you are viewing a life that is just so much better than yours. Because, you know, they're YouTubers. But the realization that... I had the realization that YouTubers kind of just put forth whatever they want people to see, really. And so, you know, you have YouTubers who put forth this idea that they are super rich and super, like, family friendly or, like, content with their life, basically. And I realize that is probably skewed my view of success, you know? And it skewed my view of what you do as an online personality, per se. Hiding behind a facade? Well, it's less a facade and more just like, if you're on YouTube, if you're on the news, you know, they aren't telling you their life. They're telling you what they want you to think their life is. And something that I think I want to do, perhaps against the better judgment of people who worry about doxing threats and stuff like that. But I want to avoid that kind of thing, where I am, like, not disingenuous, but I am not open, I guess, about how I feel as a person, for the sake of maintaining a satisfied viewer base, you know? It's just interesting because there is a kind of, what's the word? Not predecessor. Like, there's a standard that you see now, not just amongst YouTubers and stuff, but just like everywhere. You have to seem happy. You have to be happy. People want to see happy people, you know? And I just think that's bad for long-term willpower, you know? Some people online are honest, which you appreciate, especially when big creators talk about mental health struggles, because it helps you feel more for them. Yeah. I don't want... I like... both for whatever imposter syndrome I may or may not have at this point, and just modesty's sake, I don't want people to look up to me. I don't want people to be like, oh, yeah, Ender, he's, like, so, like, cool. He's got everything figured out. Because I definitely don't. And I'm really not a role model. So I'd rather people think of me as a guy online than somebody who's like, you know, I don't know. It's hard to explain because a lot of this is coming from just thoughts, you know? You feel too flood to want to be looked up to. Yeah. And, you know, who knows if that's healthy? Who knows if that's part of some kind of mental disorder that I have gotten, or if it is a fully valid thought, you know? I don't know. It's hard to think positive thoughts sometimes with how the world works and how everything goes. But you know what? It's important to try. I do tend to be a very angry person. And I tend to try to kind of redirect whatever whatever anger I have to something beneficial, you know? Because sure, I can be angry at stuff. I can be frustrated with life. I can like, things can go badly and I can be upset with them. But if I can turn that anger into something beneficial for other people, then I think that's the best thing I can do. So right now, I mean, I think it's pretty apparent. I'm angry. I'm angry, I'm tired, I'm sad, I'm annoyed. And I'm not going to go in depth. It's a pretty neat way to deal with very heavy emotions. Yeah. Hold on, I lost my thought process. What was I saying? I completely forgot what I was saying. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I'm discontented with how the world has been. Is talking about being upset. Yeah. And if I can serve the role of some schmuck on the internet who makes people laugh, then I'm happy with that. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to talk about these things online because, you know, I can't exactly trust people online to know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to dox myself. That's a pretty major concern, really. But I do want to be able to talk about emotions and stuff on stream. Not the most viewer-friendly thing. It's probably not conducive to converting it into a YouTube video and shorts and all that stuff so I can get the most out of each bit of content I produce. But, you know, it's all I could hope to do. See. I don't know if this ear is going to work out. Actually, that kind of works. That kind of works. But yeah, no. I kind of want to set a precedent. Super frustrating to have to pretend to be a happy, content person because of PR and shit. Yeah. I want to be able to speak about emotions, you know? As a big, bald, blanc, white boy with a beard, you don't really expect, like, somebody of my face to be talking comprehensively about emotions and their emotions. But I do want to, you know? I want to be able to speak about it. You're being parasocial for having emotions. Yeah. That I am so annoyed by the fact that when you are liked by enough people, you are no longer allowed to do certain things for fear of dishonoring those people or some shit like that, you know? But it's life. Life goes on. Alright, so I somehow managed to draw a pretty alright Hoog head. While doing that, while talking. So let's figure out how exactly he's gonna sit. Okay, so that breaks off into his shoulder. Like here, I think, as well. Yeah, and then it'd be that, I think. And then down. I could also have him doing some kind of funky little pose, but I have no ideas for that in mind, really. Experienced very bad dehumanization in your life to the point where you try to be vulnerable to get help. People dismiss you because you'd be misbehaving. Yeah. I mean, I sort of get that, but not exactly. But I know the feeling of giving a cry for help, you know? And not really getting a response. Because again, big, bald, bearded boy who's white. The white part is important because of the implied what's the word? Not prejudice. It's a P word. P. Privilege. The implied privilege of it. You know, there's a lot of things that have been dismissed because of what I look like and who I am and all that stuff. I'm not saying, oh, how dare people say bad things because I'm white. That's not that's not what should be focused on in that sentence. All in all, I get you. Alright, so hoodie, we're gonna get this. I think the hook shoulders should probably be a little bit wider than that. Let's go like this. And like this. Are the hook shoulders? Actually, the hook shoulders really aren't that wide. Because you'd have massive trust issues, learned helplessness. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, no. It I don't know. It's hard to share thoughts about it because I don't even have my own thoughts about it in order. No. More to it than just what I can think up to say right now. But hey, you know. It'll blow past. If you're stronger than whoever. Oh, I'm blurry now. If if you're strong enough, if you have the willpower, even when you feel like you can't get out of bed, you can at least live, you know? You can at least move to the next day maybe the next day you will feel strong enough to get out of bed. Maybe tomorrow you'll be motivated, you know? That's my thought process at the very least. Might not be the best thought process. I've never really had a criticism about it. But, yeah. Hard to be vulnerable when people around you don't want you to be a person. Yeah. I mean, that's a very blunt way of putting it, but correct. Take is kind of sad, honestly. Well, I mean, you know, life is sad. And sometimes you just got to deal with sad things. Otherwise, oh. Honk honk. Sometimes you have to deal with sad things. But you know, it's just life. It's all sad boy shit. It's all me just being all fucking grumpy and getting angry and annoyed at who knows what. I don't know. I'm just angry at shit. I'm just discontented right now with the way the world is, the way that life is. Because it's like nobody's helping me, so I'll have to deal with it myself vibes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to throw too much shade at my parents, because they are, like, I was legitimately, I grew up in a very privileged place. The fact that I'm able to do this now is a testament to the generosity that my parents have shown to me. But, you know, for some things, you know, you just never get helped in your life. You gotta do it yourself. It is very sad, the conversation. Yeah. Yeah, no. It is absolutely scary. The fact that, you know, there's another Gestapo. The fact that the world is very visibly being taken apart by the richest so that they can try to make their spot permanent, you know? I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. But you know, tomorrow something good may happen. Wasn't even 80 years ago. Yeah. That's what happens when when people are just uneducated, you know? People have to be told about these things. They need to be convinced to care about these things. And I find a lot of people, like, they're told about them. I have siblings who know about the Holocaust and then just don't really care about it. What? Yeah, welcome, Cricket. Welcome to a very heavy art stream. I kind of came in here with the wrong attitude for an art stream, and so it has become this. Also, I am still blurry. Camera, can you fix that? Can you fix that, camera? Yeah, honestly, I kind of just hate the rich. All things considered, if you were to sum up a lot of my angers and discontentments with the world, I really just feel like rich people should be separated from their wealth. All right, why is fucking camera, man? Hey, okay. We should all hate the rich. The only people who shouldn't hate the rich are the rich. because they're trying to work together to kill everybody else. The ominous bell. Yeah. Reminder, by the way, I'm probably not going to be streaming too long today. So, for anybody who just joined. They shit like, we can't take their money, they worked for it. Yeah, no. That is another instance of people being uneducated. If the people saying that knew what they were saying, knew what they were talking about, then, maybe they'd have some different thoughts. But the fact that they are given a platform, or really talking at all, and don't know what the fuck they're talking about, kind of leads to people just saying shit. Yeah. Like if you are rich, you can't become rich unless you manage to hit the lottery and your company suddenly becomes like a crutch for the rest of the world. You're not going to stay and become and stay rich to that extent. I guess you can. In a sense, you could be a millionaire. Nobody's gonna take that money from you. But you're not suddenly going to be part of the elite. Yeah. It's honestly, it's the fact, like, there are so many rich people who we don't know about, who are just like investors, they invested in Bitcoin at the right time, and now they have more money than they would ever need, right? And those people aren't the ones, or maybe they are, but from my knowledge, they aren't the ones who are constantly trying to fuck over the middle class or fuck over the working people. It's the ones who are trying their fucking hearts out to make sure that they are remembered as the richest person in the world or some shit. It's old rich white man. Yeah. Disgusting fucking nonsense as well. Bringing that up now, eh? Epstein files. You hear some awful shit, or I've heard some awful shit recently about shit that has been not only found in the Epstein files, but just generally made public knowledge. Like there was an ambassador to Mexico, U.S. ambassador to Mexico, who is like guilty of. Okay, I'm not gonna say. Should I? I mean, I'm not getting monetized. Beware, heavy words here. All right, cover your ears. Raped an 11-year-old, impregnated them, and then had those charges pushed off onto a Marine. And he could just do that. What the fuck? I'm angry, Yeah, no. Yeah, they're so uncorrupt. They're making America great again now, you see? How does this fucking hoodie even work? Ah, okay. So it's to start marrying U.S. citizens to smuggle them over to Germany or something. Yeah, no. I mean, honestly, the people need to get the hell out of there. The U.S. no longer deserves to have the people who it has, you know? Gonna get some food. Just wanted to say hi first. What's up? You crashed Glorp. You crashed on what? Unless you, like, you're crashing out actively. Crashing out. that term suddenly showed up and became ubiquitous. You're Nightmare Freddy and you're in my head. Oh, don't do that. Twitch exploded on you? Ah, makes sense. Glorp glorp. Like all the people who closed their eyes to the wild. Yeah, no, seriously. Fuck them. It's, yeah. Rough. And, like, I can't deny or say that all of my anger comes from that. There's like day-to-day stuff. Like, I've been trying to find a job for months now. I've been trying to find jobs for years, and I recently have swapped over to just trying to find regular-ass jobs, you know? Stuff that isn't in engineering. Stuff that I could hopefully get into normally. Nuh-uh. But hey, maybe tomorrow something will change. I do this. Like, what am I even trying to do here? Just walk into a place and hand over. Yeah, no, you're entirely correct. I have had multiple conversations with my parents about how hard I am trying, and they're like, but okay, yeah, but you're probably getting the wrong jobs. Just go get one of the easy jobs, you know, the ones that you can just get. It's like, fucking what? Like, I'm not competing with everybody else in Quebec. It's fuck, man. Couldn't I have been a boomer, you know? Yeah. But even like trying to get a job at like fucking McDonald's over here is rough. Trying to get a job anywhere here is rough because everybody else wants a job. It's almost like we're all competing for the same jobs, and the fucking market has been awful for years. Should I have... You know what? No, I'm going to have the hoodie. I was going to ask, should I have the hoodie laying over top the beanbag? But I realized that would be a lot of extra effort if I wanted to... animate this at all. Yeah, no. It's... God, and old people calling young people lazy because they aren't getting all of the things. Like, to the old people, it feels like there's so many things that should be easy, you know? Getting a job, you should just get it. It should be easy. Except they haven't educated themselves on how the world has changed. Sorry, I'm getting a little too heated for stream. I should probably not be screaming about my fucking political opinions or whatever on stream like this. Alright. So I think that should be fine. That's the only thing you can afford. Yeah. Yeah, no. It's like it's another thing where there are adages and like stats about how homeless people or poorer people they'll be worse off because a wealthy person or somebody with enough money can buy a good pair of shoes that'll last them for 10 years, whereas the poor person would have to wear a cheap pair of shoes that'll last them for 2, overall costing them more. That doesn't really even apply anymore because everything's garbage. Everything lasts 2 years because companies make it that way because they don't want you having good things. They want you to be coming back year after year for their garbage. Like my parents buy some, let's call it can opener. They'll buy a can opener and they're like, okay, we need to treat this thing well because normally a can opener should be lasting this long and blah, 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 blah. And they haven't taken on to the fact that every single can opener they bought for the past who knows how long has broken within a few months. The cars with the screen? Yeah, no, fucking stupid. Stupid. Listen to the bop real quick. Yeah. Sorry to all of you who may have joined in here and were not prepared for the heated discussion. It's not going to be the longest stream today anyways, so, might as well let it out at some point. Need to shoo him away from the screen to take over. Yeah, no, I've had to do the same thing. And at this point, like, I can drive now, and the car that I use, it's a hybrid, and it has a screen. And I barely look at it, because it's dangerous. I don't want to play Fortnite on my car. I've got a computer. And conveniently, the computer is located in a place where I won't crash into another person on the freeway. Is that a sufficiently large Hoog eyeball? Is the eyeball like big enough? Yeah, no, like a little sign that shows up. Oh yeah, no, make sure to follow all the road laws. And you click OK, you tap the screen like a fucking iPad child. Amazon.ca is not going to enjoy the the algorithm modifications that it gets from this stream. What? He doesn't like rich people? Huh? Wait, but he hates pedophiles? What? But Bezos. All right. Now, I kind of want the Hoog to look like a child that is barely keeping his focus. So, let's see. For one thing, got to make sure that he's the correct size. Yeah, that works. And that stuff. So I kind of want him to be like leaning down a bit. He's kind of in a weird ADHD kind of position, neurodivergent. I also might want to I might want to swap up the pose here because the cross leg is kind of meh. You know, it's kind of lackluster. But what I might be able to do is I might be able to use this leg and kind of put it off forwards so it looks less like a cross leg and more like a... I can't really... The camera angle doesn't work. But imagine one leg sort of straight and the other leg kind of crossed underneath it. That kind of thing. All right, so... Let's do this, and then the paraphilia you mentioned being used to create a non-existent boogeyman. Could you expand on that? Expound on that? Because I'm not sure specifically what you're talking about. Something like this, with his knees right up to his chest, I think works. Yoile cake. I left to eat a snack. I don't know what yoile cake is, but welcome back. Currently just trying to finish up out Boog's legs like that, and then the longer, yeah, like this maybe, yeah, and then it meets there, and not like that. Go like this. It goes under. There we are. Now, the way that the Hoog's feet work is weird. Like wedges, basically. So he's got a little bit of foot at the back. It's not just like nub straight into weird wedge foot thing. Might want to read it before releasing it from Automod Hell. Gotcha. Is that happening? I'll keep it in auto mod. What's up with the lady with the eye drops in the corner? Rain requested it yesterday, so it is required. But yeah, no, that, because currently the majority of the people who fall into that category, who are being like targeted and whatnot, are politicians. And people may be gleaning what that category is when I say politicians. But yeah. Also, what's up, Hawo? How's it going? Oh, yeah. I mean, they've been calling queer people that for fucking ever, because it's one of the only things they can. Hey, they have sex different. That means they're you know. Yeah, I said it before. Pedophiles. Doesn't matter. There's no monetization happening here. Did that with the Jews too? I mean, yeah, they did. Fucking fascists, man. I'm angry. Hello, you joined in an angry stream today. Which it's probably not going to be the longest stream, but you know, angry stream today. That's just what it is now. Also, I got shot. How's that different from Saturday? What was Saturday again? Saturday was Deadwood, right? I guess this is more of a personal emotional anger than a general discontent. Saturday was angry Darkwood. I did I come off as angry then? Because I wasn't angry. I guess I was not angry at anybody in the chat. I wasn't angry at anybody in specific. Yeah. I mean, didn't get the impression I was angry. I don't know. Again, I in my day-to-day when I'm not joking and laughing and talking, usually my face is just you know? Yeah. Yeah, no, we were just talking. Don't worry. But you know, I'm I'm working on it. I got a bit of a bad case of RBF. So, yeah, you know. Okay. What do I want out of this? RBF, resting bitch face. Yeah. Yeah. Oop. I like the oop in chat. That's I will never read O and P in that order in any other way than oop. Like you can't be oop. Oh, like, it's not oop. In all caps, but it oop. At this point, I'm just making noise. It would be a good way to reintroduce regular Ender Deej programming here, eh? The very gentle yeah. I'm still not feeling too well. So I may call it about now, the stream, to be more specific. I'll try to finish this off before doing it though. Yeah. You know how it is. Good old fucking depression. You see, unlike a lot of YouTubers, I'm not afraid to say it. Life sucks. But again, maybe tomorrow will be better. In hope. Who said depression? Me! 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 Rounds. Yeah, no. Done fun. For sure. Trying to be nice, and Automod said nah. See. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I think for now I should be good. I do have some resources. I can talk with some friends. I haven't yet, but I definitely should. But you know, I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to get this geometry here done. Would a therapist be reachable? Yeah, but I guess, yeah, therapy could be handy. I'm not like bad kind of. Well, depression is bad. Whoop-de-doo, depression is bad. Who would have thought? I do have access to a therapist, but it's not that kind of. It's not that kind of thing. I'm from someone who's trying to look for one. Therapy is an interesting thing because, like, initially, I was kind of naive to how therapy worked because I am a very honest person. I am blunt. I say my thoughts, and when it comes down to it, that's probably the best thing you can do when trying to find a therapist, because then they'll be like, "Oh, wait, you have that issue? I'll fix that issue, or I'll tell you how to work on that issue." But when it comes to anybody who has, trust issues or is a compulsive liar or anything else that would muddy that, you need to get a different kind of therapist. You need to meet a different kind of person who can actually work with you in that way. And some people need to be called out when they lie compulsively. Some people need to be given regular old trust. Some people people need different things. I'm lucky enough to be generally agreeable, but I totally understand that it is fucked trying to get a good therapist. Almost call the ambulance on you. Yeah, no. There's gotta be some trust, And I mean, some people just want to be told that people want them around, And it's hard to figure that out. Okay, what do I want? I mean, at this point, Hoog's sitting pretty all right. Yeah, so I think this might be where I call it for tonight. Sorry for the short stream, but I'm really just not feeling the best right now, and I don't want to impart all of that bad juju onto you. I know a lot of people show up here because it's fun and a safe zone and all that stuff. I don't want this to suddenly be a place where people go to get angry. You were able to talk to your way out of a stationary confinement by gaslighting them into thinking you're okay. Huh. That's... I don't even know how to comment on that. Hope I feel better in the near future. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no. Next week, I'll see about doing more Ultra Kill and Silk Song. If not, I'm probably going to be playing Darkwood again. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's decided to drop by, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.